Hello, hello. Welcome in, guys, to another episode of Comic Book Women. Tonight, the girls and I are going to be covering and spotlighting the hottest character around right now, Yelena Belova. Before we get to that, special thanks to our sponsors over at Cover Price for providing all the really good information that we're going to be sharing with you tonight. If you haven't already, head over there, use the code Flipside, and you get 2 months of their unlimited membership for $1.99 a month. Totally worth it. No matter what your role is in the comic book community, if you're a seller or a buyer, you're going to want to check this thing out. It's a great site, great resource. Jen, how you doing today?
I'm exhausted.
I know.
I've had
You had a long weekend, right?
Sleep.
You had a long weekend.
And then paperwork, and so like I had like 2 or 3 hours of sleep. So sorry if I'm like.
I feel the same way. Yeah, how are you, Lucy? You look wide awake.
It was a busy day. Tomorrow, Lennox starts school, and Romy hopefully soon too. So he got his shots today, so he can start school. I'm tired, but
the kids starting school is a game changer when you're back to having like an empty house. Oh man.
Oh yeah. Once Romy starts, it's definitely gonna be an empty house.
That's very cool. Before we get started on our market report, so guys, if you're new to us, every week we pick either a character, a creator, some type of artist, writer, and we spotlight a female in this community. But before we get to that, Lucy, you did your first show on Whatnot this week. How did that go?
Yes, I had it on Sunday. It was really cool, pretty easy. I was extremely nervous. And I never done an auction, so I didn't know how it was gonna go. I didn't know if people were gonna actually buy books or what. Like, it was not like, I had a couple stray dogs books, and it went really well. I mean, it is a little time consuming, obviously, like putting the books in that you're gonna sell and in the packaging and stuff like that. I'm not used to package dirty the books, or I mean, it was like altogether was like 10 orders. I'm usually like 1 or 2 here and there, not like bunch of books at a time. And so obviously that was like completely new for me.
That's
so it was
awesome though. On your first show, you got all those sales. That's fantastic.
Yes, all the books. I didn't think all of them were gonna sell. They all sold. It was pretty awesome. I made $200, $260, I think, or something like that.
Can't complain about that.
Not. So I'm gonna have my next one on Thursday. So I want to add like a bunch of Jennifer's and books, mostly Wonder Woman. So we'll see how it goes.
You know what you're doing to me. That's like my favorite. Damn. We'll have to get Jen. You're applying. Are you applied there at Whatnot yet?
She's gonna apply.
Well, I'll do a post tomorrow that you guys will see. Yeah, I'm indecisive right now.
Do it, Jen. Do it, because I mean there is a wait, because everybody wants to get in. So there is a wait. So do it by the time you are approved. Maybe you're ready. So and start looking for the books that you want. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, it's really cool. So guys, if you haven't already checked out Whatnot, be sure to do that. All right, let's kick off the show. So this week, Yelena Belova. Most of you out there have probably already seen the movie, so you have a pretty good idea, if you haven't followed her in the comic books, what she's all about. Florence Pugh is the actress, did a phenomenal job, but let's get some more information on her.
So what I'm most excited about, I'm so happy that you saw Fighting with My Family before the movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then
you can tell she trains, like she was made for this role.
And then the fact that she's 25 years old, to me, is like, that means she has many years ahead of her and within the MCU. And like, I'm just excited too to see where Kevin and the writers will take the character, because it's a little different than it is different than the comic books that we're about to talk about, but I definitely could see them writing in some of these storylines into her possibly.
Yeah, there's one in particular I'm going to ask you about later that when I was doing some research on it, I was like, oh, that could be interesting if her and Scarlet got together to create, but we'll get to that. Okay, so what do we know about her? She's the surrogate sister of White or Black Widow. They
that's
grew
in
up
the
together.
movie, yeah.
Yeah, in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, that was nice. Like I like that angle that they don't. That's not in the comic books. They put that in there, and that was a good tie.
I think that it's interesting, like her background story. From what I understand, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but she was like a talented gymnast. Is that true?
Well, she has a really convoluted history in the Marvel universe and the Marvel comic universe. There's like different iterations and like, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Lucy, have you seen the movie?
Not yet. I just I lost interest, honestly. But now, honestly, because it was like, okay, thinking of just a Black Widow, right? But now, like talking to you and seeing all these videos on YouTube, you realize it's not. I mean, that's how I see it now. It's not just about Black Widow. It's like more than that, and you see more. I mean, obviously, she's gonna be big on the Marvel universe, and Black Widow. I mean, she's dead, so sadly, this movie. I feel this movie should have come out like 4 or 5 years ago, and that way I will care. Like it would have made it better for. That's what I've been saying. It would have made it better for Black Widow, for people to kind of care when she died. But I'll watch it. I guess now I want to watch it in theaters since there's like so much craziness happening. So yeah.
But I think like the flip side of that is if we would have got like, yes, after I saw this movie, I'm like, oh, it really should have been in order, and then people would have cared more. I think like I cared about her death, but people who just are casual fans were like no one was crying at that scene.
Iron Man had his independent movies before his death, and I think that did make people kind of have more of a connection, more invested.
But if this movie was then, I don't think we would have had Florence in that role. I think it took the movie being where it was placed to have this actress. So like when I think about that, when I'm like, okay.
So it was not but then it wasn't so much about Black Widow. It was more about the new characters then, right?
I felt like it was a Yelena like setup movie. That if we would have had Black Widow earlier, I think we would have gotten like a similar tale, and people would have really liked it. But then I don't know if we would have had Florence in this role. And
why do you say that?
Because of the timing, she would have been what? She'd have been early. It'd been even earlier.
No, because didn't they show like on some of them like when she still had short hair, the blonde hair. So
I'm talking about the actress.
No,
the actress herself.
Oh, I guess that's.
She would have been too young.
She'd been probably too young. She wouldn't have had the roles that she would have got Gardner to get to this role. Like this is perfect timing for her, and she's entering into this age
for the actress, then not for
the actress.
Whole
the
Marvel. Okay. And, sorry, to interrupt you real quick. I just want to say, somebody's watching us from Guam. That's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yes. Wow. Cool. And obviously from the UK, Dave. That's amazing. Thank you.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very neat. We got the whole world tuning in right now. That's awesome.
Yay.
But Florence Pugh did an amazing job. So I think that if it did come down to whether or not they could cast somebody like this in this position, because you have to be able to hold yourself against Scarlett Johansson, and that's not an easy thing to do. And she did. When you watch the movie Lucy, you got to let us know what you think, because a lot of people thought she even outshined Scarlett Johansson. So you have to kind of like watch it with a critical eye of what you think. Just why they chose her, and
don't be like.
I did a cinema class in college, and so now all I do is I watch these movies, and I'm like, I see what they're doing here. I see why they did that. Like I see all the background when I watch films, and drives Anthony nuts. But I'm like, did you see that product placement?
Yeah. I would. Me, it's more about the movies now, because thanks to Sam, like now it's all about the fighting scenes. The fighting scenes are whack, and they're not like oh, like I hate, especially Marvel. They do this a lot. They shake the camera so much that you cannot see like the actual like fighting,
I
And
didn't
I
even
guess,
notice that.
oh my God, they
Sometimes
do
it's like this
so.
thing.
Now I'm gonna
There's
notice it
so
because you
much.
said it. Now I'm gonna like pay
In
attention.
this movie, they take that Black Widow move and they like change it slightly for her, and I was like, oh, cool. Like
So
that's
the
her.
fighting scenes are a little bit better.
I
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. And did I want this movie where it should have been? Yes, but then if we then lose Florence, then no, I'm okay with where it is then, because she like her comedic timing, how she did her lines, even the physicality, like she seems like a tough chick. Like at
Watch
least
Little Women. Watch Little Women, the new one, man. If you like Florence Pugh, she
Jesus.
doesn't. She's such a strong female character, and she's a transcendentalist during that time period, which is not something that was common. But the way she does it, and the way she presents herself, you're gonna watch that movie and be like, "Oh shit, Amy's a badass." Anyway,
Yeah. Mm, You will.
let's kick it off, guys.
Mhm.
All right, so this one we were talking about a little bit before the show. Kind of a bit of a debate here. Jen will probably elaborate here on some of the positions, but this is a good debate topic because you have Marvel Knights, which is technically the first preview. Yeah. And then Inhumans #5, there's been debate as to whether or not it's the cameo or the first appearance. Why is that, Jen?
It's because of the way that she was drawn. It's her, like, okay, if you look at this Marvel Knights cover and you kind of see how it has like the one eye and it's like all like darkened. That's similar to how you kind of see her in Inhumans. There's a couple, but it's not just one page or one, like, what's the thing I'm talking about? Like,
Panel.
Yes, panel. Sorry, I'm tired.
You're fine.
It's a couple, and then you see like different parts of her face. So, but people are like, oh, like, I still think I don't know, it's tough. What do you guys think?
All right, round table. Lucy, what's your opinion? Does that count? If you don't technically see her face, but you see part of her eyes, her lips, you see like a shadowy profile, does that count as a first appearance in your opinion?
I mean, yeah, like when you take a picture, that's how I see it. When you take a picture and you see part of you there, it's you in the picture, right? Like, I mean, that's how I see it. It's that
Well,
person. So
can I say
yes,
something
I don't know.
kind of what's the word, controversial?
devil's advocate. Oh,
Yeah.
Devil's advocate. Sometimes I feel like if you didn't get this in Humans 5, then you're like, it's not the first appearance. It's a cameo.
So they're just salty.
Yeah. So it's the same thing, like with the whole what's her punchline. I got the Batman. What number was it? 92, whatever.
Mhm.
I don't have the held, whatever. So that's not her first appearance.
Yeah, so we don't own this, so it doesn't count. Yeah,
I don't care. But I mean, I don't own neither of these, and even though I think Humans cover looks beautiful, I love it. I would much rather have that one because mostly of the cover. So I will say that would be her. I don't know.
Well,
I guess it's up to the person.
well, I mean, the characters created by J.G. Jones and Devin Grayson in 1999.
Let's get his opinion.
Yeah, I know, right? Be like, hey, what do you guys
Let's tweet
think?
Grayson and be like, what's the first? I mean, this is why this show is interesting, though, because thank you to Cover Price, our sponsors. They give us all the information. So let's see what the market says. Right now, the special edition, the free one, is going for roughly $9 for the raw comic. There are no graded sales on that one. And the 9.8 of the Inhumans #5 right now is going for almost $700 at a 10% increased trend right now. So the raw comic, roughly $150. So that's where we're at with Inhumans. Let's see what the market has to say. Okay, so Jen, this is the other one that is considered the possible first appearance.
Well, I think, yeah, because this is for #1 Black Widow, the series. There's 3 covers for this. On cover A, she's on the back of the book, and then she's on the front cover, like her face, and then you have Natasha, and then this is like just her solo. I have this one, and I'm like, I like it. I think it's cool.
Which
Do I
one do you
want the
have?
Inhumans?
Which
I
one
want
do
the
you have?
Inhumans one though, huh?
Oh, you do. You have the. Which one do you have out of these three?
I have
The
this.
number one.
I have this
Number one?
cover of number one, but I
Okay.
want the Inhumans one, and I was trying to find that Marvel Knights. Like, yeah, it's going for $10. I kind of want to find it for $1, but it came in. A
Jen,
wizard.
you're not gonna find it. Just get it before it goes higher, and you're like, "Darn it, I should have got it."
Lucy, it'll come back down. It'll come back down.
No,
Well,
yeah.
Jen, no.
It'll be 40, then 15, then a few years.
Yeah.
She'll be like,
Yeah.
damn it, you guys. Okay,
Yes.
anyway.
And after the show, probably is gonna go up. So, Jen,
Oh, I didn't think.
Should've known.
Well, so that Marvel Knights, you can find it in Wizard Magazine number 90, and there's
Mhm.
like 2 different covers. So I mean, people don't really go through magazines as much as they probably should. So you never know.
somebody said just sold my Marvel Knights for $10. It was a freebie from
Yeah.
Wizard. There.
Yeah, it was from 1999. The Wizard number 90 has Wolverine on it, is for one cover, and the other one is Tomb Raider and Witchblade. So if you see 90, it might still be in there. Like, not everyone took them out.
What was I going to say there, though? Okay, so number one is over here. Now let's just compare real quick. So right now, a 9.8, you're looking at about $535. Raw comic is $100. You're not seeing a huge spike. So I think the market has spoken, and they're going to go ahead and agree with CGC's label with the asterisks that this is considered the first appearance.
I wonder why they did that, though.
Money.
Okay, and the you said the Marvel Knights, it's the cameo or
it's a preview.
It's a preview.
Look, I know people feel weird about previews, and I completely understand that. So that's why I put preview, because like, but if you like the character and you're like, you know what, I just want whatever I can get. Like, if I can't afford that Inhumans, then I'll probably get the $10.
You're giving them options.
Yeah,
you're giving them options.
And then, I mean, this first series with her in it, it's still Natasha's series, and she's in it. But if you're looking for super early appearances, I like that number 3 is only $1.
I know, right? That's crazy. Well, roughly.
Well, yeah.
If you're going to average like $5, but you could probably find it for $1 if you dig around enough. Same with, well, the second one's a little bit higher, but yeah, this is a solid series. All of them, if you're ready to go for graded, with the exception of number 1, are completely affordable. And
how do you think J.G. Jones did? Because he did these covers.
I like all of them. Yeah, no, I like them. They're solid.
Lucy?
I like them. I really like that number 1. Yeah, I like it.
Her expression, number 1's pretty pointy.
Her expression, yeah.
Eyes up, Lucy.
Right.
Eyes up.
Oh no, honestly, like the face first, it takes you to there, and it just goes down, and it's like doing.
Well, what did Jen Bartel teach us? When you look at that cover, you immediately go to the chest. Look where the light and the dark meet.
The eyes of the chest.
Oh, the eyes of the chest.
Eyes of the chest.
Really quickly, guys, if you're just joining us, because I just saw a huge spike in viewers, welcome into Comic Book Women. We go live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we spotlight a different female of the comic book world, whether that's a writer, artist, character. We are here every week to give you an idea. We try to find stuff that you guys find relevant to the times. And our sponsors over at Cover Price provide us with all the information that Jen just masterfully puts together, and Britt turns into these beautiful slides. So if you're watching, make sure you give us a thumbs up and leave a comment after the show. Let's keep cruising.
It's not only 3 women, it's 4. Britt works behind the camera.
Oh man, she really does. Like, I feel like we should have her on just to like have everybody just sit there and slow clap, right? All right, so what do we got on another series? Tell us a little bit about this one, Jen.
Well, this is Black Widow's second solo series, and Yelena's in it. This is from 2001. It's 1, 2, and 3. It's a very heavy Yelena storyline, and she's on 2 of the covers. But I had a couple of these, and then after seeing the movie, I'm like, I'm an idiot. I should have been picking these things up like sooner. And then like,
I mean, it's still $5.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still, you know,
it's still affordable. Like, I'm just worried that like, So what probably will to foresee happening in the future, because she's going to be in the Hawkeye series coming out November 24th.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like once we see her in Hawkeye,
That's gonna go.
like it's that's just the beginning. Like I don't think he's like
yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah, and she's such a beautiful actress. So yeah.
But Scott Hampton did these covers, and it's a good read. And I think a lot of people are getting the first series or the first number one and are kind of overlooking these. So if you just want to like read some of her stories.
And
So
this
is
show
this
teaches me
only
so much. Go ahead.
is
I'm
this
listening here
one only
learning.
1 out of 3, right? That's like 3 issues only. It's a
Uh-huh.
short. Oh, I love those. I love when it's only
Yep.
little ones. Yep.
Yeah, it can't be a bad investment at this point. I don't see these going anywhere but higher once the Hawkeye drops and once we see more of this character development. I think you're just going to keep seeing stuff like this go up. So if you have the opportunity to pick it up at $3, I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot of risk there.
Do you think Florence will do conventions eventually?
Probably she might do just the big ones like the other fools do. The other fools, sorry. The other fools. What they do, like San Diego or like I don't know, those big cons, maybe.
But she'd be cool. Like she'd be a person I wouldn't mind getting signature from.
She seems like a really cool, down to earth person. Like that Fighting with My Family movie kind of, because I'd only seen her in Little Women prior to that. So it really shifted. And I think that's more her personality. Like kind of just like, she just seems so chill. I saw an interview with her and Scarlett, and she was just like so down to earth, talking about how she was sitting there eating ice cream all day, but Scarlett couldn't because Scarlett can't have dairy. And so she would just be sitting there eating ice cream in front of Scarlett, kind of rubbing it in her face. And that's my kind of people. I'm like, that's awesome. Conventions, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
And number 3 has a lot of nice space. What do you think of the reflection cover there? I know you usually like those, the reverse reflection.
I mean, when I was like looking for her covers, I'm like, damn, she's not on like 100 plus, right? And I know a lot of the guys and Flipside were talking about. There's that one Scarlett Johansson movie cover where she's doing the pose. I'm like, oh, if they don't do her mimicking that and that from that movie, like they're missing out on a cover. And I wholeheartedly agree. Like if they did that movie shot of her posing, I would buy that, and I would definitely try to get her autograph on that one, because that
would be
yeah.
This cover though, is this the storyline? This is what I wanted to ask you. Is this the issue where like they basically take her face by force? It's Black Widow and Daredevil, and they cut off her face, and she calls it the rape of her identity.
Well, okay, so do you guys ever see the movie Face Off?
Yes. Yes.
So, or even Buffy the Vampire Slayer also did that with that magic thing with her and Faith. Buffy and Faith switched bodies. Like, it's also kind of similar to that of
right. If you look at their bodies are still the same, but the hairstyle and the faces get shifted in the third cover. But go ahead.
Nat, again, there's interesting stories, but Nat was trying to like shock her into not going down this path of like being a spy, right? Like it's not what's cut out to be. And that's the other thing. Like in all the stories, she's almost always, her and Natasha have like a rivalry, and then later it becomes like a friendship, but competitive. Like that's why I like them taking that and twisting it into like the sibling sister thing in the movies. I'm like, oh, that's so much better and not as convoluted as their backstory in the comics. But so they switch, and she even talks Daredevil into like, shh, pretend it's me, and he's like,
yeah, Daredevil was like not feeling it from what I was reading. I was like, oh geez. All right, well, very cool. Let's keep on cruising. Next up, we thought this was interesting just to throw in some toys. We do this a lot. If you guys ever tune in to Nearing Nerdvana, we go live. The girls and I have our own channel on Saturdays, and we try to tie in different areas beyond just comic books of collecting. So we include pops, action figures. This one, I think Jen threw in there just for me because I'm a huge Greg Horn fan, and he did the cover on this, which is gorgeous. What do you think, Lucy?
Sorry, I'm muted because I Romy was gonna yell for me. I really like it. So hot. It's just so sexy. And then when Ben Affleck used to be so hot too, I like that. So yeah, I really like this cover. It's really nice.
So it's Wizard number 124 that came out in 2002. It's super, like, I think I was looking online, none sold recently, but I want to say it's like 5, ballpark 5, 10 max, but back issue bins, I would 5 and less is probably what, if you want this cover, I would probably like aim for.
What year was this again?
2002.
Okay, so this is like early because the autograph or the signature looks different than his standard stuff nowadays. So he's definitely shifted, but you can still tell because he is the king of just putting these women in beautiful poses. And
I'll be back real quick. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be back.
Go do your thing. All right, and then let's see here. We have a Black Widow in that little pose, but we couldn't find pricing on this.
Yeah, so that is I can't pronounce that name. It's that. Whenever I see it, I'm like, oh, it's that Japanese statue company that puts out stuff. Yes.
Bahosho?
Okay, but is it? Yeah, I can't pronounce it. It's like no, I can't find a sales for this recently. So I'm really curious if anyone has this, how much you would like let it go for. I'm just curious. Like, it's out there. And then there's at least 2 toys available. One is like a Marvel Select, and the other one's like a Toy Biz. Just look for the blonde hair. And then the pop. You have this pop.
I do. Well, my daughter technically owns this, but yeah, then my son has a Taskmaster, and he's like, can I sell this? I'm like, maybe. I'm like, look it up. Maybe you'll find something. But yeah, she has this in the other room, and I told her, I'm like, this is probably a good time to sell. Well, she could sell now, or she could hold until
November
after Hawkeye. Yeah, we could see, but she's smart, so she's probably gonna hold it.
What was fun about this, I remember seeing this pop in a Walgreens, and people would like move it to like the candy section or a different section, and I had this weird OCD sometimes, so I'd move it back to where it's supposed to be, and I'm like, I kind of want to buy it, but I'll keep putting it back where it's supposed to go. And then after the movie release, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go buy it. And then when I went back, it was gone. I'm like, that makes sense. You
put it back. That's a good thing. That's good karma. I leave coupons. If I ever have like coupons that they send me in the mail, I'll leave them places because if I'm not using them, I'll just be like, somebody else can have that.
Oh, DJ Maxwell.
Karma.
Yes. How do you say that? Does anyone know how to say that?
Kotobukiya.
Good. Cool. Yes.
I think that sounds right. I don't know. I'm just sounding it out. Not all heroes wear capes. That's right. Jen's putting the pops back where they go. If you're walking through the grocery store and you're like fronting everything.
Well, and then these toys, I imagine like at certain cons or toy stores or, I'm talking about where you go and you thrift stores. You never know. You can get this for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, if you dig around enough, man. Like we need to do a road trip and just start traveling around, see what we can find. Mm-hmm. Okay, very cool. So if anybody owns that statue and you can give us roughly what you think you would sell it for, because we can't find any references on that one, let us know. And let's keep cruising. So now we're looking again at some beautiful covers done by Greg Horn. Yep, I think the first one kind of has like a Pamela Anderson vibe to it.
Doesn't it? I see that.
Yeah.
So this is her third solo series?
This is actually Yelena's first solo series. And the other ones, it was with Natasha.
What's happening over there with the teacher? Is she tied to the chair?
A little, what is that? Bondage?
A little bondage on cover 3.
So this Black Widow Pale Little Spider is from 2002 also. And it's really interesting to see the Black Widows, because a lot of it's just 1, 2, 3, and then they just go, okay, we're done.
I think they're gorgeous. So the first one's going for roughly $25 raw. That's the most expensive of the 3, but $9.8 for roughly $120. And that one's on an upward trend. Makes sense. The number ones always do that. And then the other 2 are sitting pretty like right in the $50, $60, $70 range. What do you think of these, Lucy?
They're sexy. I mean, especially the first one. The second one, it's like very. It kind of reminds me of Black Widow on one of the scenes on which one was it, when she has the guns and she throws herself back, and it kind of looks like that one on one of the scenes. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was one of the Avengers or something. But obviously it's one of the Avengers movies. But it kind of remind me when I think she was a blonde at that time. But yeah, they're sexy.
They're very sexy. I like all of them. I think I would probably pick up the first one if I had to choose. I would go with number 1. That's the one that's on a huge trend. The other 2 are kind of just steady.
But people often overlook. I feel like people will grab number 1s right away, and then like, number 2 and 3, yeah.
It's because she's waiting to see if everybody's safe in the water. She's making sure she doesn't have to run down the beach. Looks like Pamela Anderson. That's all I see.
Right. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Anyway. All right, let's keep cruising. The New Avengers Annual. I was confused as to why Jen included this, but she has a pretty damn good reason. Why is this one up here?
Well, so Yelena becomes the Super Adaptoid, which, okay, it's just Marvel's version of Amazo. There is a guy. The first version of Super Adaptoid is a guy or a male-looking robot type thing, but it's literally Marvel doing Amazo. It's fine. But this is Black Widow becoming, Black Widow. Well, she is kind of Black Widow, White Widow.
You were still right. It's still good.
She's a widow.
A widow. It's Yelena like becoming that, and it's also a nice little like because it's Jessica Jones and Power Man get married, but I found these for like $2 to $5 all the time. So back issue bins, and that's only
or you could wait till it's $1. Just hold. Just wait. It's gonna come down. The Marvel Comics Vanguard, you were telling us a little bit about this before the show. This is another one that's seeing a huge trend spike here. You're looking at a 10% increase. Why is that?
Well, so technically she joins the Vanguard in issue number 5, but she's on the cover, and this is the first cover of her in the Vanguard. So this is number 11. But like, because in the Vanguard is Blade. And so I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's another group she's been a part of. I know they're bringing Blade in the universe, but I mean, it's probably going to be Thunderbolts. Like, but if you're curious about reading her stories, this is a nice little, like, Marvel Comics Presents has a nice little nugget in there. I forgot to mention the New Avengers Annual is by my favorite artist, Oliver. I always hear his name wrong. Oliver Coppel?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Just say it with confidence and nobody's going to question you. Oliver Coppel.
Like me. I always just like
say it like you know, and they'll like, yeah.
And if they correct you, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I said.
Clearly what I said.
And then Dave Wilkins did the Marvel Comics Presents with the Vanguard.
Sorry, Lucy and I are getting in trouble again. Okay, we'll pay attention, class. Okay.
Yeah. But it's super cheap. Like
here?
Yeah.
What's the heart doing on that cover? It just seems so like why is there a heart there?
It's gonna hurt a little.
Right? Kind of odd. I was looking at it while you were talking to me. Like that's
earlier. I noticed the heart.
Yeah, it seems a little out of place. But all right, yeah, if you guys are willing to drop a nice cool 150 on a 9.8, you can have it for yourself.
No, 150. Go back issue bin, buy for $5 or less. Check out the condition and just submit it, because that's so much cheaper than paying 150, you know?
Oh, yeah. This, out of all the ones we've seen tonight, this is probably the one that I would be least inclined to try to slab. There's other ones back here that I think have better covers, stronger covers, but I'm more of a cover collector, so that's different. All right, let's keep going. So Thunderbolts, we were talking about this too. These are both Matina covers. Yeah?
Yep.
And why do we care about this?
So Thunderbolts 128 is when she first joins the Thunderbolts. There's 4 different covers because there's like a third printing. What?
Hi, Chad.
What do you say, Lucy? Cochina.
Hi, Chad. Cochino. He's a man. Cochino.
Oh. My bad. Cochino. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Jen.
So yeah, it's just her joining the Thunderbolts team. But that's someone else is leading it, but whatever, it's fine. But there's 3 prints of it, so just be aware that that's out there. And Matina. I mean, and that's what everyone's expecting towards. I kind of think, right, Thunderbolts.
That's pretty good. I just, there's not other cover. It has to be Matina.
Well, I mean,
like a variant that I can get and stuff?
Yeah, there's different ones. There's actually
cool.
So there's like up to the 3rd print, and that aren't this, that are someone else.
Which the one on the right does not look really like a Matina. You know, I really like that cover. I think that's why I really liked it. The other one you could totally tell is Matina. But yeah. if I have to get one, I would rather get the one on the right.
Yeah, the one on the
Maybe I
right.
can-
It's her in the story and on the cover. It's a 1 in 15, by Clint Langley.
That's interesting. That's
I mean-
our Halloween costume.
We see
Yeah.
her in Hawkeye with that mask.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, sexy. Oh, Laura, you can totally pull that off.
Mm.
You're already blondie. Come on.
Mm. Mm-mm. I cosplayed as Black Widow a while back. I told you guys this. It was the worst costume ever. It felt like you were wearing like the same material that they make a trash bag out of. And it was not good.
Well,
Oh my God.
what is it called?
Oh,
A different material.
shit. Spirit gum?
Oh,
I'll just spirit gum my whole body and then it'll stick on and then I don't have to move it. By the
Every
way,
time
Jen
we
did not
have-
have spirit gum last week.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
Oh, you're such a jerk.
Love you, Jen. I think you were thinking baby powder, right?
No.
That would be the
yeah. Wait, for your costume?
Yeah, so it doesn't. But oh my god, you're gonna end up with tamales in there.
Well, what was that episode of Friends?
Oh.
All the sweat, Robbie. It's like
That was an episode of Friends. Remember on Friends, Ross couldn't get his leather pants back on, and he put all that baby powder and it turned like a paste.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a good episode. Anyway,
good stuff. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Let's keep cruising. All right. Now we do the second prints, right? Second printing.
yeah.
Oh,
So this
so
is Thunderbolts 132nd print. De La Torre. Eh?
De la Torre.
Yes, that.
De la
Beautiful.
Torre.
I mean, I'm going for around $5 to $10. She's not the center of a ton of covers. So when I saw the second print, I'm like, yeah.
I really like the second print on. You see, like I didn't really like the first print on the other one, so I guess I'll be getting the second print, and then the other one's still Martina.
The 136 is. I mean, it's. Sorry about placement, but
I know. Can you see her face on that one?
no, it's her. But you can see her blondish hair and it's her body. Like
Okay.
but she's on.
You
the
see
cover.
the important parts, the belly button.
Very good. And for $2, again, these are both affordable, especially if you guys are into this character or if you're just specking to see if this character continues to grow within the MCU, which I don't see why she wouldn't. As Jen pointed out earlier, they chose an actress that's not only talented, but the appropriate age to continue building upon her character. It was a clever move. So that statue earlier was from the San Diego Comic-Con 2009. Last sale on eBay was $249.
It was the best offer. So that's when I had the line through it. I'm like,
Probably went for 200, 225 would be my guess.
Mhm.
Okay, let's keep going. Keep cruising. Oh, okay. So Campbell, I think we actually used this image in one of our Nearing Nirvana shows. Didn't we?
We did. That's funny.
That's ironic.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
There's actually two different covers. There's the more expensive is like a 500 print run. That's more of a virgin.
This is the one that came out not so long ago, right?
Yeah, this came out
Mhm.
like last
This
year.
year? Oh, okay, last year.
Yeah, because it's number 2, the Black Widow series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But this one is not the virgin or one for 500 or
Mhm.
whatever. Like,
Yeah.
just pick it up. I've been trying to buy it for $5. No luck yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you guys, Lucy, you remember we did a episode about sexuality in comic books, and this is one of the poses that we covered because it's a very strategic pose that he chose here that kind of emphasizes certain parts. And we were talking about how that you guys should go back and watch that episode. There's so much empowerment.
What is the name of the episode? The
Sexuality in comics.
sexuality in comics.
think
yeah.
so.
Yeah, sexuality
that.
in comics. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get creative, but it's really interesting. We give you guys a lot of really cool different insights into this, some background information on it. What was the thing that we used for that episode, Jen?
Ballerina.
No, it was like the initiative, somebody or collective or something like that. Shit.
The Hawkeye Initiative.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes.
They take male characters and put them in like female character poses. You guys go back and watch that episode if you can.
Hilarious.
It was interesting.
It was interesting. It was a different perspective. All right, $60 for a 9.8. That's not too bad. $5 for the raw comic. And the other Black Widow one, who was the artist here?
It's a 1 for 25, and I cannot say this name, but it's spelled Nabetse. Last name Zitro. So Nabatisnzitro.
Say it with confidence. Nabatisnzitro.
Yeah. Well, Laura said, yeah.
Perfect. This one's on an upward trend too.
And the new series is really like, you guys should definitely read the new series. That's good.
There's so many good indie books coming out right now. Like I am buried in indie titles that are just like kicking ass right now, right? Like the one that you chose, Lucy, that we're going to get to in a second here. I cannot wait to read that book, but we'll get to it. Okay, very cool. Let's keep on cruising. What do we have coming up next? Widowmakers. So this is Red Guardian and Yelena Belova. You have number 1.
Oh, they call me Bruce. Kelly Thompson. Yes, I really, really like the way she writes. And maybe that she could be one of our focus because she has done really good stories. I think I have mentioned it with you guys before that we should do Kelly Thompson. I think I mentioned. Okay.
I agree. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Gogol. We know him, right? Frank Gogol. Kind of.
Sounds familiar. Yeah. Okay. So this one is new. It's out right now, right?
Yeah. It came out January 20.
Oh, this is
came out last
October.
year. Huh?
It is right there, October 27th. Oh, that's the
one.
one.
Oh no, that's the last one. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
These 2 Widowmakers came out in 2020. One of the left is cover A by Mike McCone, and then the one in the middle, I think someone liked this one a lot. It was the 1 in 50 in Huckily.
I like it.
I like that one too. I think he just has such a softness to his art. It's always just so.
It's very anime. I like anime. I like it.
I am a fan. So let's see. Okay, $60 for a graded 9.8 of the number 1. For the number 2, you're looking at $28 for a raw comic. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad at all.
For 1 in 50.
Yeah.
So you can probably find these at the comic book shops, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Cover
price. And then the one in the very end is an Adam Hughes. I'm looking forward to. I like that cover a lot. And it comes out in October, so available for pre-order.
Yeah. Well, I really like that cover.
Right?
Yeah, we're going to have to cover Kelly. I'm sold now. I think that'd be a really cool one. We've only done one writer, right?
I think so.
Marjorie? Was that the only one we did?
I kind of didn't care much.
I know. What is... I don't understand that. Like the writers...
They do all the work.
Are if there was shit writers and only amazing covers, like I think it might hold for a tiny bit. Like look at I really liked the Batgirl Batgirl covers, and I was picking it up to read, and I was so unhappy reading that, but I'm like, oh man, that guy's freaking knocking out of the park with the Batgirl covers.
I didn't read not even one, and I picked up all the covers.
The insides, like I just didn't like. I was like,
Same thing with Harley Quinn. I didn't read any of the covers, but then Amanda and then Frank Cho were doing it, so I was picking it up. But I don't really like Harley.
But you need I think Frank once said that like writers don't get a lot of credit, but they really should. Like
they're the ones I think they should be getting all the praise because they're the ones who make the first appearances. They're the ones who I feel like the stories they take to the movies, so I think they should be getting so much love.
It's really hard to do, like when I was making that list for her, it was really hard to do because she didn't have a ton of, like, she had a lot of more youth books. She didn't have a ton of like comics, so I put a lot of covers in there just for you guys to hopefully elaborate more, like maybe like on like stories, right? Like how they write, like what about their writing like draws you in, right? Because everyone has their own little angles.
I like this. It's a team sport.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely. But the quarterback always gets the most attention though, right? And that would be like the artist. And they're throwing the ball and
I don't know.
Or I guess that could be a receiver. Well, the quarterbacks are always like blah, 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 but without a really good team, you're just a really good thrower.
Yeah.
You're just throwing a football really far. All right, moving on. New comic book day picks. Sorry.
Wait. So just
one more thing she wants
to quickly wrap it up, like Black Widow has a ton of there's like different things going on with like Thunderbolts, the Vanguard, Super Adaptoid, like White Widow, Black Widow, like even like there's clones and stuff. There's just so many things about her character that's all messed up. So definitely read these stories that we kind of sort of showed you, and then I wonder what Kevin Feige's gonna like pluck and like put into like the MCU, or if he'll be like, hey, let's take this small idea here and then like just turn it on its head. So like, could she? We see her in Hawkeye and she has like those cool goggles. Could she like Super Taptoid? Like that'd be kind of cool. Like, could she could she, instead of seeing like the Peter Parker clone saga, we see like her clone saga?
Huh. We'll see.
It's different. Like, because they put, it's not like clones like Spider-Man, because they had their own like Kane and Ben Reilly. Like they use the bodies differently. I know. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Everybody in the chat's asking who the character is on the bottom right of the Hughes cover. They're saying it's a character named Lucy.
Yeah, it's Lucy Nagayan.
But then I thought Lucy's appearance was number 9.
No, her first appearance I think was 6. It was 6, and then she that's that one that there's the 3 covers for, the one that no one really tends to care about, and then the other 2. So she's like in 6, and then so I like Lucy's character a lot, and so I've been trying to. I only have one of a number 6 though.
Lucy did, there you go. Okay. All right. Very cool. Lucy debut number 6. Perfect. Yeah. You guys in the chat, we appreciate that so much when you guys are participating and having these conversations amongst yourselves. We obviously find this interesting. So hopefully you guys do too. If you are watching and you forgot to hit the bell and give us a thumbs up, take a second to do that really quickly. It lets us know that you like what we're doing and we're more likely to keep doing it. If you don't put the thumbs up and we get 0, we'll cry.
Yeah. And some people in chat were
putting you and put voodoo on you. But
what?
That's the approach Lucy will take. I'll just cry.
But then I'll be pissed. I saw some people in chat were putting like other covers that like we just couldn't. This would be like 2 hours, 3 hours long if we put all of her covers. But there's some really cool covers.
Everybody wants a piece of Lucy, exactly.
All right, let's keep cruising. New comic book day picks. This kind of ties into the conversation that we were having earlier about writers just not getting their due credit. But in this case, I think Scotty Young's killing it. And I think he's getting that recognition enough to be able to pull people from his Middle West success into this new comic. People are going to read it just because they like his style. Lucy and I kind of did a combo for this one because she picked the trade. And then I, of course, am super biased. So I'm going to go with the Ariel Diaz variant on this because I think she did a great job. Yeah. We got these in-house today and it looks so cool. The paint texture on the background looks like it's popping up. It's really neat. Very cool concept on this book. You're looking at an artist and she goes into a house and she's painting and stuff. Then a ghost starts messing with her. It looks neat. I think this could definitely become a really cool story. Lucy, what do we know about We Don't Kill Spiders?
Well, I also want to say from the Me You Love in the Dark, I remember when the soonest Jorge Corona did, because he does the art and all that stuff too. Him and Scotty Young worked often together. And the soon as they posted, I sent it to Laura. Please tell me you're going to make an exclusive about this. And obviously she didn't tell me because she can't, right? And she's like, we'll see. Right. So I was so excited that they're working together again. If you guys read Middle West and you guys loved it as much as I did, that's why I was so excited for them to work together again. So that's why I wanted this. I've been pre-ordering. I ordered also the one from the exclusive from Scotty Young website. I ordered that one. I
love that one.
And I'm just so excited for this. You guys have no idea. And then we Don't Kill Spiders. This one, it's kind of like the Viking Age, and there's a discovery. I'm gonna read a little bit about it. The discovery in the dark and bloody history of the village he investigates the local outcast, a necromantic witch who brings athis, the atheistic, how do you say
Authentic?
no.
Aesthetic?
Yeah, I think that's what he said. Value into the question. Determined to prevent further homicides, the two bands together to discover the identity of a serial killer. So there's a killing serial killer on the loose, and the witch and this guy right here, they're like trying to find out what's happening. But it's like in the age of the Vikings. So I thought it was pretty interesting. And
Sounds badass.
yeah.
Lucy, look at this. So somebody was asking in here, does anyone think there's too many exclusives? We're actually going to do a show about this because once you learn how much exclusives help the industry, you will want to go out there and support them. Because Lucy used to be kind of like anti-exclusives, right? You're like, I'm not going to pay for this extra. But then once you learn kind of like how they work, and again, the amount of talent that gets supported from this, how it helps the retailers, it helps the artists, it helps the writers, it helps get the story circulated more. There's so many pros, in my opinion, but I'm obviously biased. It outweighs the cons. But okay.
Yeah, you totally changed my mind on that. But yes, we will do, probably not this weekend, the following weekend maybe we'll do a show about that, because we always talking about this and how it does help the artists. Yep.
Yes, very cool. Okay, so those were our picks for the week. So hopefully you're able to get a hold of those. Somebody else in the chat was also saying that some of the books are late. That's true for Sweet Paprika too. A lot of stuff, well, number 2, I should say. Some stuff is just getting delayed. So just be patient. If you're waiting on stuff from online stores or people even that are doing a hold box, just be patient. You'll get your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Exclusives are essential to a book's success. Yeah, I mean, again, we're going to do a whole show on this and really deep dive into the whole exclusive game because there's so much to it.
So make sure to subscribe to Nearing Nirvana.
Yes, definitely do. All right, and let's see. These, I believe, are Jen's picks.
So how could I not pick the Straight Alex number 5 second print? That's the 1 in 10. This is the second book in my whole entire life that I ever pre-ordered 10 of a copy to make sure I got the 1 for 10 at cover.
What number is this one for that 10?
It's a 1 in 10 for number 5 second print.
Dang it, I should have pre-ordered this one too. I didn't.
Yeah, it's the Crow. Like I was like, what? Like, yes, I will.
Trish sent me the art like before it was out, and I looked at it and I was like, holy hell, this is badass. And she's like, it's really cool, right? And she's like, I think I'm gonna make shirts. I'm like, do it, make shirts. I'm like, I would buy,
I buy a shirt.
Yeah. It's very well done. But yeah, so
it's her dog Evie.
Eve. Yeah, that's Eve.
Based upon.
You know, Trish's dog is Eve. I mean, this dog's name's something else, but that's
I kind of feel like it was sort of a horror if you were involved in filming it because of what happened on set.
Wait, what do you mean? What happened on set?
Brandon
Lee died. Oh shit.
Oh.
Give me a second, guys. I'll be back.
Is that mine or yours?
Mine.
That's yours? Oh. Sounded like it was mine. I'm like, who is here right now? Okay. Me too, Jen. I think we can move to the other issues online. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have it done. Would have done it. There you go. You got the 10 too.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Brandon Lee is the son of
the only one who doesn't know.
And then during filming, they had like a blank, but something like wrong what happened, and then he ended up dying, like during the filming of The Crow.
Okay, that's horrible.
Yeah.
It is.
So kind of, sort of, right? I mean, okay. And then the Miles Morales. Why did you choose this one?
So it is a Marvel Tales reprint of Ultimate Fallout 4 and on Ultimate Comics Spider-Man 1 through 5. And I like the cover, and I like when they do this like little, like if you, yes, it has a $7.99 price tag, but especially if there's people in your life, like this is what I call like an intro book, right? There's people, oh man, I really liked Into the Spider-Verse. Cool. This is a gift you could give them, right? Or if it's something that like I can't afford Ultimate Fallout 4. then if I have this, I can read it, and I have now a copy of it, even though it's a reprint. But I just like the art, and it'd be cool. Like, it looks like it's good for SIGs also for convention season. I'm big into that.
Yeah, this is a solid pick. I like it. Let's see here. Was that it for us? Oh my gosh, that was a quick show. Actually, we've been on for an hour. It just feels like it went by fast. All right, guys, if you haven't already, please check us out over at Nearing Nerdvana. We are on Instagram. Lucy manages Instagram. I try to be good about checking messages over on Facebook. Jen tweets. Yes. See how I said it with confidence? Jen tweets.
I like people's tweets.
That counts as participating. So yeah, and obviously we have our YouTube channel. We go live on Saturdays. Oh, this Saturday we need to discuss this Saturday's show. It's going to be a good one. Make sure you guys show up for that. Hopefully we'll have JoJo from Flicks and Comics on with us. Maybe Trish, you never know. And then, of course, Bird City Comics. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We did get a lot of interest over the Stray Dogs trade paperback exclusive that we launched. I have been telling you guys for weeks to subscribe. And then people are like, I didn't know. It's like, you have to subscribe if you want to know when we're dropping stuff. We did sell out on the pre-sale, so now they're only going to be available at the Baltimore Comic-Con. If by some chance there's overflow, I don't see that happening, we'll bring them back and put them back on the site. And again, you'll get an email saying they're back up. So yeah, make sure that you check out Bird City Comics. We have a lot of good stuff going right now. Oh, we got our Carla Cohen cover in today.
Nice.
It's so pretty.
Will you share it with us?
No. I won't show you. No, of course I will. When the show's over, I'll show you guys. Anything to add, girls, before we call it? Lucy, wait, when are you going to be on Whatnot again? Thursday, you said?
Yeah. Yes, Thursday. Make sure to follow me, Mama Comic. You'll find me there. And Bird City Comics, right? You guys having your first one too?
Yeah, we're doing our first one tomorrow. So fingers crossed that goes well. If there's any Bird City peeps out there, we're not going to ditch Facebook. We'll still keep our presence on Facebook alive and growing, but we are going to give Whatnot a try because everybody's loving it. And it sounds like it's a really easy way that protects the sellers. So Bird City Comics tomorrow will be on Whatnot if you're interested. I think we're doing a slab sale. Jen?
Laura, wait, real quick. He says, my daughter and I love your pics. Oh, can you put that one real quick? I'm a dad, and having women show that it's not only male industry makes it more fun to share books with her. Thank you so much. Oh, that is amazing. I will try to, how old is your daughter? I would try to keep it a little bit more clean for her. Sorry.
I mean, look, comic books are universal. Like, it's not, I know people are like I've been into comics since before I could read when I was little and in the early 90s, late 80s.
Yes.
Like, a story is a story, and it's like what you get from it. That's cool that she's reading. Yeah. And I don't know, they help. Like, as a kid, it helped me with my morals and ethics, and you try your hardest even if you're not going to be the one to benefit from it. Like, you just still do your best.
Make sure, hopefully she watches Near Nirvana. We talk more about all the other nerdy stuff. So I hope she likes our show.
Yeah, that means a lot. We're all getting all emotional. That's really cool. We appreciate that. That means a lot. All right, we will be back next Tuesday. Until then, have a great night, and we'll see you guys later.